Consequences. I have briefly said that those are activities of integrity. They're not punishments, as Rochelle said. When you say there's going to be a consequence, they think it's a punishment. They're two different energies. A punishment's punitive. It's like you trying to hurt somebody. That's a punishment. Trying to hurt you, emotionally or physically. Okay? A consequence is not meant to be hurtful. It's a natural act of integrity. So when we talk about responsibility and accountability and honesty, reliability, some of these virtues sound familiar that you'd like to have your sons master, right? So when they don't do those things and you do choose to impose consequences, and in my model we don't consequence every little behavior they have, by the way, right? And when you do choose to give a consequence, it's just an activity of integrity. Just like I wanted to get back into integrity with all of you this morning before I began. I ran late last night. I wanted to clean it up and knock it off and move on. I did the consequence, and then you guys were very gracious or gallant. Then we started again. You didn't hold it on me. Make sense? So you're going to have to get really comfortable letting your children know that consequences are natural. Here's how they're learning it up at the Young Men's Ultimate Weekend. One of the mentors, a couple of the mentors that I know teach this, Corey and Brendan both, define for your sons a consequence as a natural result of your behavior. That's pretty primal and basic right there. A natural result of your behavior. Because they want to go, but my teacher's such a, and my mom is such a, and everybody's such a. Right? And then I will often ask a question. And by the way, when I ask young men questions, and I'll encourage you to take this posture, I'll often say, I'm just asking. I just want to ask you a question. See my body language? See where I'm going? Back. Not forward. I don't want to engage that primal instinct of theirs to beat the hell out of me. I just want to ask you a question. You know, that kind of thing. Your behavior. What was it like when that teacher made you go to the principal? What were you doing, son? I'm curious. No judgment, I'm just asking. And I try to create a lot of space for the answer. Without that, I can't wait till I nail him. Energy that you bring, you gotta let that go. It's not effective. They won't get what a consequence is. They'll just think it's a punishment because of the energy we bring to it. Follow me? With me on this? Okay? So they're natural, right? Every action has a reaction. That's another way to explain a consequence to a young person. Every thought, I tell young men, everything you think, let alone everything you do, something's going to come back to you. It's conditional reality. This creates that. You say this or do this, something's going to come back. That's what a consequence is. A consequence can be positive, you can get a reward, or you can get, something negative like, give me your cell phone or whatever it's going to be. You follow me? You have to explain it carefully. You need to come up with terms on your own that you're going to say to explain what a consequence is, that they can feel that you're mentoring them and teaching them, that you're not some parent who's punishing them. Big difference, right? As far as karma goes, whatever karma is, I don't know. I mean, I've been studying karma for a long time as somebody who's really interested in yoga and Buddhism and all that. I don't know. I do know this. All of you are old enough to know that somehow stuff happens to you just out of the blue, right? I mean, out of nowhere. I don't know where it comes from. I don't sugarcoat with young men. I coach young women too, by the way. I never sugarcoat with them. I go, I don't know where it comes from. And if you continue doing that, let's say it's something I wouldn't agree with based on a virtue I think they could be doing, I say just be prepared. In what shape or form it may come, I don't know. But it's on you to own it, whatever it is, to be accountable for it, whatever you're doing. That's a virtue, accountability, which I define as owning what you should have done or not done without excuses. That's on your handout. You don't have to write it down. It's on one of your handouts. See, I would say if I disagree with a young person, I go, will you be accountable to it? Can you own it without an excuse so that we can move on?